Hello, good evening. It is another edition of Nigeria Decides 2019, a program Heritage TV UK designed to support millions of people who are preparing to elect, not select, to elect another leader. And that is going to be, there are going to be elections. The most prominent one of them, of this election, is going to be the presidential election taking place sometimes around February 2019, and then followed by other elections like Senate, House of Rep, governorship election, and House of Assembly, and so on up to the world level. Very interesting time, because very interesting because this is the only time the electorate, the ordinary man, will exercise his power, the power which register. If he's registered, or if he's not registered, he has no power. Somebody else will use that power for or against him. So we on this station have chosen to be giving all the necessary information to support this exercise. Now, with me tonight in the studio is one of us. He's also a broadcaster, both on television and radio. We've been together before. He's a gentleman called Ayo Ogundimu. Mr. Ogundimu, this is our second encounter.
Indeed.
And we've been together before.
Pleasure to be here.
You're welcome on this program.
Thank you.
Nigeria Decides 2019. And joining me from far away Scotland, well, not far away, is a very prominent political analyst. He's also a journalist. He's a blogger. He does many things when it comes to issue of media. It's well known, and I'm very happy to have joined with this gentleman. His name is Mr. Baderu Olushola Oluwaseyi. His media outfit is called let me get that
Maiyegun's
right. Maiyegun's Diary. Very popular blog. You know, you need to just Google it and find out. Mr.
Good evening, sir.
Oluwaseyi, good evening. It's my pleasure having you.
Pleasure. Yeah.
And also, I quickly
It's
want
good
to
to see
say,
you.
yeah, thank you very much. I also quickly want to say, this is the beauty of technology.
Yes.
So we're also using this opportunity to tell our viewers that if you are in Sokoto, we can easily connect you. Don't worry. As long as you have light, the only thing is, if light cuts off in Sokoto,
Yes.
you might lose the connection.
Yes.
But viewers, tonight the light is not going to cut off. You're going to have Mr. Oluwashola throughout this. So, gentlemen, let's get started.
Yes.
Let me start with my co-host here in the studio. Do you have anything you want to quickly want us to touch before we start going on the main topics of today? Anything that is trending in the
We thought football.
Thank you. I will have not mentioned football because I'll tell you why, because I'm not a football crazy or anything. So football, yes, tell us something.
Well, I would hope, even though it's a joyous occasion, the ramifications of what's happening back home, I would hope that our players would at least hopefully have taken a moment's silence before the match to honor those who lost their lives. So at least to remember them. So that's what I would have really liked from the match. And of course, I hope that our team wins, because we're playing Argentina. The last I heard, we were ahead, but I've not heard since then.
You don't know the final.
I don't know the final results just yet.
Well, we will get that. Don't worry, we will get
We will.
that. By the time we finish, or put it this way, some of our viewers may even phone in.
Yes,
Or
yes,
even
indeed.
or write something or tell us
Yes,
what the latest results are.
Indeed.
And the number to call, if you want to call in, is a 020 800 46100, and you need to get the option 9. Again, if you want to call in, 020 800 46100, and then option 9. Please, we want you to contribute. That is, but give us time. Let's start about different the topics we want to discuss tonight. Write your points down. You can also contribute by writing in. You have a Facebook page and so on and so forth. Yeah. So yes, you also touched something. But before I go there, let me, Mr. Oluwaseyi, how enthusiastic are you with football?
Well, I'm a football enthusiast as well, but usually I'm more of political, something much more serious. But well, football is one of these creation, one beautiful creation that allows us, to sit together as Nigerians for the first time, or most of the time, where no one is asked if you are an Hausa man or Igbo man or a Yoruba man or whatever. So I love football. I love the game of football. So win or lose today, to me, the fact that Nigeria participates in this World Cup alone is a good thing on its own. So, but I'm not really that keen.
You are not a fan. You are not a crazy one like me who do not really, well.
If you put it that way, yeah.
Now,
as someone who is always interested in everything going on, So yeah, we're interested.
But yes, there are 2 points which I think is very profound from you and also from my co-host in the studio. You said here we have a situation where an Hausa, an Igbo, a Yoruba, and a Jaw or whatever makes up the team of the first 11, and they're working together clockwise to want to achieve one thing: to put as many goals as possible into the net of our opponents. Why are we then, Mr. Oluwaseyi, why are we then having problem to use that same concept, that same belief, that same kind of a connection to?
Yeah, let me put it this way.
Yes.
Yeah, let me put it this way, sir. You see, football unites. Football genuinely, unites, and most of the time, makes us forget about our differences. Yes, but the truth of the matter is that from the time immemorial, our national team never really represents, the real best from our country, which means for those of us who knows the in Nigeria, everything has been politics for a very, very long time. Religious, politics, and all these things have been, sort of playing out in our way of life, in our existence, most of the time. It's just that they are not really prevalent, like so pure like they are today in this modern time. Sorry, just excuse me for 1 minute.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. That's all right.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Quickly,
okay.
I'm very sorry about that. It's my young man.
We just need to tell our viewers that we're experimenting, and
Well,
no doubt about it that the next time we're connecting people from Argentina, it's going to be better. So people, they understand how people understand.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, and I apologize for that. I mean, you said Maiyegun is better. Everyone knows me as a Maiyegun general. So, what I'm trying to say here now is that, from time immemorial, Nigeria that we got from independence should be having the same thing England is having it at the World Cup today, whereby we have, we have southwestern Nigeria, like we do have from independence. So the best from that small community, like we have in England, from the Afran side, from the Arewa side, these are the real people that should compete within themselves, and the best should represent Nigeria. But I don't want to go there tonight, so to say. You asked me why can't we use that
discussion for another day?
Yeah, no. I mean, your question was why can't we use the same cohesion as the national team to at least run our country? The reason is this: we can't use the national team as a yardstick, because the national team doesn't represent the national, or the national, what do you call it?
I'm talking about the principle. I'm talking about the principle. The principle and the spirit. That's what I'm saying. Of course, I'm aware.
Exactly. There's no principle there. There's no spirit there. So you can't use it as a yardstick. And I'm trying to just make you not use our football as a yardstick in this regard. The reason why Nigeria don't really win anything major is that there is no spirit, that national spirit there. Through the selection process, through everything, we just base everything on hope and prayer that once we get there, we will do better. Let's pray. So I don't want to use that. So let's get to today's business. Nigeria is bleeding right now.
Yes.
So please.
Yes. I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Ayo.
Yes.
Do you agree with his?
I agree with his assessment.
Premises.
His line of thinking is spot on. We've been put into a kind of like a spotlight where we're supposed to suddenly perform magically, whereas in the back room, everything is in a mess. And that mess has come to really hurt us badly. And we cannot continue to function like this. It is not right. It is not representative of what is really on the ground. We need to go back and fix that. Yes.
We need to go back to the drawing board?
Back to the drawing board.
Back to basics?
Back to literally everything. We've got to really make sure what we state as our constitution is what is practiced. There is a difference. There's a chasm in what is actually written in the constitution, a huge gap, and what is actually practiced. And that is the fundamental issue our country faces.
And until when we deal with it?
Well,
until when we deal with that?
Without dealing with that, we will be going around in circles for the next 200 years, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, because that also takes me to your also observation of a happy moment, but also bringing a sad moment.
Very sad.
When you say very soberly that
yes,
here we have a situation that killings,
yes,
because you said you hope that our national team will have used maybe 1 minute silence to dedicated to the memory of those who have been getting killed and killing every day.
Yeah.
You said it. How troubled are you when we're talking of this kind of killings that is going on and on? How troubled are you? And what do you think we should be doing?
It is painful. As I'm talking to you about it, I feel my emotions really rising to the fore, and I'm having to hold myself to be able to perform this interview, this panel discussion tonight. I saw some pictures and some videos. The videos I didn't even watch. Gory. I didn't even watch it. The pictures were enough. Now, the thing that got me was when they packed a group of people onto a lorry and they just dumped them into the ground. No ceremony, no respect, nothing, and they covered them up. It's
mass burial.
Mass burial.
And this is not the time of, is it?
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous. So that's why this afternoon, I mean, myself earlier on, I did a broadcast on CitizenAY in which I actually gave them a moment's silence. I gave a moment, I asked everybody who was watching with me to stand with me. I timed it. We did a minute silence. Then we sang the national anthem in their honor, because our nation has failed to respect the citizens that they promised, our government promised to serve. This is an indictment on our governance.
A simple service of protecting life and property. Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
What's your take on that? How worried and how, when we're talking about people being killed?
It's a sad situation. It's a sad situation in the sense that I, as one of the people who never believed in APC and their, and their change mantra, at the time. Basically not because of the people in APC, the known faces only at the time, but demand the entire team or the entire army of the APC change mantra wants to, honor with the highest job, the biggest, the toughest job in Nigeria, where we have other brilliant people that that knows how complicated our country is to govern. So they couldn't stand up to take up the mantle, and they gave it to Buhari. And we said, even if Buhari meant well, he's an old man. He's been away from government for 30 years. He's never attended all this state of the, state of the nation meeting. There's this meeting of this past president. He never attended any. So this is a man that is so far, far behind from the reality on ground at the time. But they were telling us that, they were telling us that he's a general and he's going to lead from the front. It's not about leading from the front. The problem was the corruption within the military, who were benefiting from the carnage and the killings. So when Buhari campaigned that he was going to end Boko Haram, well, it was a good one. That was like, okay, the bloodshed was going to end. So Boko Haram, they became technically, partially, and all the rest of that defeated. Then the death and the killings continue by transforming to Fulani herdsmen killers. Okay, here we are. This is a new trend. This is no longer about bombs. This is no longer about, we were never prepared like Boko Haram. Herdsmen and farmers have been clashing. We've been hearing it from time immemorial. But this is the first time where coordinated killings are taking place. When people say cows are killed, where are the cows killed? Where are the Fulani herdsmen killed before the reprisal attack takes place? Here is the question Nigerians are not asking, and we should be asking. Okay, they said we should be equal to the both sides. Fulani herdsmen were killed, their cows confiscated.
I need to quickly put you on a hold there, Mr. Maiyegun. We have a caller coming in to. I'll come back to you in a minute, Mr.
Good evening, caller. What's your name, please? Can you speak loudly and ask a few questions? You got a minute. Can you? Hello. Yeah. Can you?
Where are you calling from? And what's your contribution? Can you speak up, please?
Speak up. 1 second, please. Is this? Yeah. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Hello. 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Bear with me.
We're trying again. Like I said, we're dealing with so many, technical things.
Hello.
Okay, we lost the caller, but please do not hesitate to call back again.
Yeah, do call back.
Mr. Maiyegun, I need to say this again. On this program, we try as much as possible not to be too personal, not to be supporting or against or for any political party, person or persons. And I will tell you what I mean. But of course, as a journalist, you have all what it is to express your journalistic argument for and against any issue, anything that's affecting the polity, that's affecting our people, most especially. And I think you're doing that very. Now, let me chip in this. There's no doubt that it is a national tragedy. National tragedy in the sense that one person killed is too many. Not to talk of, we are now talking of thousands of people, and people are also start asking the question: how long are we going to see officially headsmen caught, prosecuted, and sentenced? Because the thing is, here we have on record one headsman was killed, and 5 Nigerians are going to be hanged for that. Whether that has been actualized or not, I don't know. But let's quickly move to some other area, Mr. Maiyegun from Scotland, and my co-host.
Can I quickly chip in something there before we move to another thing, sir? Yeah. You see, sometimes there are things that needs to be taken personal. When you see children, harmless children, being killed, and their stomachs slashed open. And you see politicians protect their children, guide them against even mosquito bite. Then you will take it personal. When you meet the mothers who are now widows, because Fulani herdsmen and other terrorist organizations running riots in up and down the country, you will take it personal. And when you want to say the truth, you must take it personal. Do you know why we can no longer, pretend about this anymore? Nobody is safe. As you are right there as a Yoruba man myself, there is yet to be seen a coordinated Fulani herdsmen attack in my own hometown. But they are closer than you can imagine, sir. Yes. So it is personal. Everything we are going to say tonight on this program is going to be personal. And I want this particular hour to be given to us. The purpose is not to incite the people against the government. The purpose is to educate the people of the danger lurking around them for being quiet or passive. In this case, nobody is safe. Nobody. I am from Ogun State. I am from Odogbolu in Ogun State. 2 local governments in my state was ransacked, Yewa North and Yewa South. But because the governor of my state is an ally of the president, the media blacked out the news. The people don't go to farm there anymore. Do you want us to wait till Odogbolu is overrun and my children, my family, and I have to start putting out calls to ask where are they, who is safe? Nobody is safe, sir. So it's personal tonight.
I'm not going to take any exemption for that. I will just agree with you totally.
Well, I'll watch my word based because your platform, you must have a reputation that you want to keep tonight. But there's sometimes we do give some leverage. So tonight is one of the leverages that Maiyegun can get, and then we'll get the message out.
I agree with you because you just said it. The opinion you making or voicing out is your opinion, and like I said, we cannot beat about the bush. The truth of the matter is we have a government in place that's supposed to provide basic necessity of.
Do you want me to tell you something why you can trust the government tonight, sir? This time around, you are living in a country whereby the moment the trust in government collapses, then there is going to be breakdown of law and order. You know that here. Yeah. For a minute, when these boys were stabbing themselves in London, that was a breakdown of law and order.
It was, yes.
You know what I mean? And it was retaliatory. It was because they thought some children got away with the social crime and they got back and, back and forth. That's what injustice breeds. Do you understand now?
Yes.
So now, people are being arrested. Not that these criminals are not being arrested. These criminals coordinating these attacks are drug addicts, recruited purposely for this exercise. And guess what? The police officers, the Nigerian police officers who have come across these herdsmen like one-on-one, most of them have been transferred out when they started the case. Is either the case is transferred to Abuja and they hear nothing about it, and if you are adamant as a police officer, you get transferred. Some get killed. You may not have heard. There's so much conspiracy going on that even the president may even be in darkness. And until when he realizes, so many people may be in darkness right now, thinking some politicians are going to take advantage of this. As I am talking to you, they are still shooting in Jos.
Yes.
I have videos that I can share. And we need people in authority to allow justice to prevail. You know what I mean? If the government is not involved, let those arrested at least be prosecuted.
Yes.
Then that will be a deterrent to those who want to do the same thing. But when they don't do that, when they don't do that,
and just to give you a kind of a thumb up there, I've just said also that here we have a situation that one Fulani headsman was killed, and 5 people that were arrested, prosecuted, and convicted are going to be hung. So you are right in saying that. Let us see if
that would have been justice, sir. Sorry to cut you there again. That would have been justice. They killed someone, whether it's a Fulani, whether it's a Igbo, whether it's a Yoruba, whether it's whoever he is under the law. They killed him. in retaliatory. But do you know why people are not justifying that? It's because people have been pushed to the war, and you are being told you must not fight back. It's like you being having your hands tied, right? And they say you should defend yourself. How?
I know. And also, I'll come back to you in a minute. And also, here we have a situation that at the end of the day, the buck stops the desk of the president.
Indeed.
So there's no way we can continue this discussion. To agree with, I'm trying to agree with Mr. Maiyegun that there's no way, because once you know that the buck stops on this desk, we cannot continue talking without mentioning the names of names, which is very, very unfortunate. We'll be talking about the police, we'll be talking about who is in charge of the police and all that kind of thing. Are they doing their job very well? Because this is a national tragedy. It's a national issue. We're talking about killing of people, and there's no excuses. I agree. But quickly, before we move on to, before I give you the way, we're going to go on a short break now, and when we come back, I'm going to allow you to continue.
Okay.
And we take it from there, please. But viewers, do not go away. It's your program. I'm sure with the
they won't go anywhere. Don't worry. They are here with us.
This is a very important night. And do come back. I mean, they don't go away. Don't go away. And remember to write down this number: 020-800-46100. Option 9 is the number you can use to call the studio live. You can contribute, or if you want to scribble something live, you can get in touch with us. Tell us what you feel. Feel free. It's your program, So we're going to be back in a minute. Don't go away. Thank you.
Heritage Television, promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television, we cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Welcome back to Nigeria Decides 2019, a live program on Heritage TV UK, where we not only rub minds with guests here in the studio, and luckily tonight we are able to secure, which is very hard judging from how busy Mr. Maiyegun is in Scotland, where we are connected. Enjoyment of technology. So before I let you continue, we have a couple of people writing to us. Can you read one or two of them? So I want to appeal to our viewers to continue, please writing.
Somebody who Multi-Dynamics Ventures wrote, "Hold PVC 2019." That's the message pretty clear. Get your PVC. Somebody else wrote, Maiyegun General, I was just about to call in, but you just nailed it all by speaking my mind. Good job. Let me read one more. I think, 1 second, let me just read. Brother, you are talking. That's by Princess Modupe Isijola. I hope I said that right. So I think,
as you can see, how passionate and average
people are.
You see, and I always say this at different forums. We here in a civilized climate.
Yes.
Because no way anybody can compare what is going on in Nigeria. Forget about the area.
Yes.
To what is going on here. Because
Indeed.
here we have a situation, people who are being killed. And when you had Maiyegun saying, in fact, the way people are being killed is not only drastic, it's seriously gothic in such a way that you cannot even comprehend. And yes, we will have to talk about it. I agree. This time around, we have to talk about it in such a way that this is exactly the truth position of things in our country. Now, we have a situation also, which I also want us to touch tonight. Traditionally, leadership, it's a product of the people. It's the kind of people,
the people elect and the leaders,
and the leaders,
and the leaders are supposed to lead.
And behavior of leaders, for me as a political scientist, reflects the kind of people they represent. If you have a senator from a senatorial district, and he's only more particular about his immediate cronies, more particular about his own salary, his pegged and all that kind of thing, he doesn't show leadership that all his constituents must be looked after.
Yes.
What do you think is wrong with that rep of that area?
Well, it's sheer abandonment of their responsibilities, the very responsibilities they swore on oath to fulfill within the Nigerian constitution. There are certain responsibilities that they swore to uphold, like to protect their citizens, like to provide the infrastructure for the citizens, like to ensure that there's good community spirit within their constituency, for want of a better word. But what they do is, as we all know, the age-old thing they all do is they come in with promises that is unrealistic. They promise the heavens to all of the constituents and they deliver peanuts. And the problem that we have, and I've been saying this to Nigerians, and I'm going to take this opportunity to say that again. Please download the Constitution. You can put that on your phone. You go to my page, CitizenAY. I have the Constitution on there, on my broadcast today, and all over the place. You can see the Constitution. Just click it, save it on your phone, read it, and start talking about that. It should be a topic of discussion among every single Nigerian. That's the only way we can hold these people to account.
Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
How can we get our people to download when they don't have light, they don't have enough to eat and drink, they have bad roads, their children are not getting education, their husbands are not being paid regularly, they are owing them up to about 22 months. The governor of all these states have taken the money to Dubai to buy houses in England and so on. How do we get our people to participate in this set of very harsh environment?
It is very easy, sir. The current momentum going on in the country and all over the world right now will get rid of this corrupt establishment from next year. The achievement that this movement is going to achieve in 2019 is the fact that things will not remain the same again, not like they are presently after 2019. You see, people are just being a little bit scared of the old order. The old order is aging, and it's it's every day weakling and all that, and then will soon pass away, in my own opinion. So whoever is trying to save this old order is only wasting his time. But here is how to get this whole thing done. There are people, from time immemorial, who've always been like accuse our people of taking money from politicians, being unable to say no, or being unable to vote for people without money. The problem is this: people who accuse our people of taking bribe during elections, these are people who don't offer our people alternatives. They allow our people to choose between PDP, APC, or whatever names they pop up at that time. These people who complain, who talks about how Nigeria should be, they never participate in politics. They see it as a waste of time. They see it as for talks, for touts. Then it's so unfortunate that the same people that see politics as a game of tout and their thugs are expecting thugs and touts to fix a country. How is that going to work? So how do we get rid of this? Show interest in politics. Yes. Showing interest in politics doesn't mean that you have to run for office. Showing interest in politics doesn't mean that you have to join a political party. All these things are not credentials of you for joining politics. You join politics by showing interest in what is happening in your community, your immediate community for a start. Maybe when you find out something bigger that you can't stomach, probably you will take the campaign to the next street, and to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one, until it covers the whole constituency. Show interest first. By showing interest, you know those who are registered that have never voted.
Let me quickly put a hold on your thoughts there. We have a caller.
Good evening, caller. State your name, please. You have 1 minute. Hello. Hello. Caller, can you... Hello, yes. Can you go ahead, caller?
Okay. My name is Chris from Maiyegun.
Okay.
Go on, Mr. Chris.
Yes, thanks for the program. It's quite interesting, the topic you are discussing this evening. Hello?
Hello, we hear you very well.
We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I said thanks for the conversation you have in this evening, and the panel also looks good. I think what is happening in Nigeria is quite unfortunate.
It is.
And if you flash back, you would observe that the president himself, I think, said the president for what is happening at the moment. You remember when the Shiite people, when there was bloodbath in Kaduna, I remember on the TV program, the president said, who are these people? Why would they touch a general? I think starting from that point, the foundation was being laid, for crisis. And there were crises in, I think, Kano, one of the Christians was killed there. Nothing was done. You had another one in Abuja. The woman who was preaching was killed. Nothing. No action was taken. These were just indications of things, ugly things that will happen in the future. And I think if something is not done as quickly as possible, it becomes the norm that we may not be able to manage. I think today, from what I pick up on from Facebook, I think those people have started to retaliate, and government is panicking already. But they laid the foundation for this. They should have nipped this thing in the bud. Just like Maiyegun was saying, if 5 people kill one person, it's an offense. If 5 kill one, it's an offense. You don't just allow it at all. Otherwise, we become just like animals, and that's what is happening. I saw one video on the Facebook today. Couldn't believe it. People were already dead. They were still chopping up their bodies.
What would you like? What suggestion do you have to address this situation? What suggestion would you put forward, please?
I think first of all is for us to see ourselves as one nation, as one country, because you cannot just. Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you.
I'm not hearing you. I can see you talking, but I can't.
Yeah, we are hearing you. We hear you. We hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, we need.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Chris, because of time and also because of allocation of opportunity to others, we hear you. We appreciate you. You might probably call back again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What was the question? What was the question?
No, we need to let you go now. Other people are queuing up too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are highly appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Maiyegun.
Sir.
Hello. You had another caller, and I also want to quickly use this opportunity to say to our callers or anybody coming, now please, we want you to go straight to how do we solve problem. This program is about finding solutions because
Indeed.
all our problems are known.
Yes.
It's universal, it's Nigerianized
That's
problems.
It. That's it.
We all know exactly what we are going
Precisely.
through. But please, you know, because of the benefit from experience, you never know who's going to come up with a suggestion. Please, when you call, just let's quickly discuss solutions.
Okay. Hello, caller, and please talk about solutions to the situation, please. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name, please?
Yes. What's your name? Just say your name and go straight to what you want to say, please.
Yeah, hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Victor. I'm calling from UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling from London.
Okay, good.
Good evening to General Maiyegun, your guest.
Yeah, go on straight. You have about 1 minute to talk. Go straight and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Solutions. Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you very well.
Okay. I send my greetings to your guest, General Maiyegun. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. I think the first mistake Nigeria made was to have a general.
You go on. We're listening to you. Hello. Can you carry on?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Something was echoing. Yeah. I think the first mistake Nigeria made was to have a retired general as their president. I mean, you can imagine Buhari, who has been in office, I mean, who was 35. Sorry, I can hear myself. Can you hear me?
You see, the problem is because you do not lower down the volume of your...
Yeah.
Okay, I've already done that. Now.
Yeah, please. So in order to have a quality contribution. Yes, please.
Was to have a retired general as their president. Buhari is from, on his profession, happens to be a retired general who was in the military for almost 35 years. He was trained to kill. So killing means nothing to him. Okay? Now, this man coming into government, we witnessed what happened in 2015. He's been so desperate to be the president of Nigeria. He'll be right back from 2003, which by the time he now got through in 2015, it took him almost 6 months for him to have his cabinet. That means the man never even prepared to even govern. He came in on a vengeance mission. So what is going on now in the country is quite pathetic. And what have we just by other Nigerians to do is that by 2019, they should ensure that this man is voted out. It has nothing to offer Nigeria.
Okay, I need to thank you there, Mr. Victor.
Thank you very much
for calling. We had your view. Let me quickly go to Scotland.
Yes, please. Yes.
Mr. Maiyegun, as you can see, we're asking people to call in and please offer us solutions. We have been dissecting the problem. Solution. Now, he was talking about the current incumbent, the current president of Nigeria is a former retired general. That is not, haven't we had a former retired general who ruled us? What's your take on that?
Yeah.
Well, that's not an excuse. The truth of the matter is that President Buhari, or General Buhari at the time, when he won the election, warned us, but we didn't see the signal. Many didn't pay attention. He said, old age is going to hinder my performance, but they later did what we call damage control, where he said old age will not hinder my. But however, his first statement was right. Old age will hinder him, whether a general or not a general or whatever it is. He's an old man that has been detached from the system. Greedy people who knew his weaknesses used him to sell themselves and bring themselves back to power. And here we are, the old man is powerless now. Some people are now telling me, they are saying that Buhari knows about it. I have called him.
Mr. Maiyegun, you are in the media, you know the rules.
Yeah.
You know, when we have a call like this, we have to quickly switch it. I'm going to come back to you to allow you to. Now,
hello, caller. Please come up with your suggestions. Your name, please.
Yes, my name is Frank Bello.
Frank Bello.
Okay, Mr. Frank Bello.
Good evening.
Yes, what's your contribution, Mr. Bello? Solution, please.
My contribution to your topic of discourse tonight is very simple. I know I've got 1 minute. I'll make it as short as possible.
Please. Fantastic.
Thank you. Yes.
We love that kind of a precise, straightforward solution to the problem. Yes, we are not going to break Nigeria, but we are going to talk about it, and we are going to pass this kind of a message. And I'm sure he's not alone.
Exactly.
So let me come back to Mr. Maiyegun in Scotland. I'll be back to you in a minute.
No. Yes.
Mr. Maiyegun,
thank you.
This is another caller who believes solutions should be reverting back to where we were before, where we have three distinctive.
That was what we signed.
Regions.
That was what our
with the
signed.
geographical settings and structure now, we might not be only three regions. Mr. Maiyegun, what do you say to that last caller?
Yeah, that's exactly what our own forefathers signed in 1957 in London. So, and what they signed was Nigeria should develop at the pace of the three regions who are going onto the table to form Nigeria: the Western region, the Eastern region, and the Northern region. So if today's reality can no longer take us back to Western region, Eastern region, and the rest of that, it is still not hard. A restructured Nigeria will give Nigerians the opportunity to sit together and decide on the form of government they want. That is the issue of the center. So most of these things can be resolved without having to go back to the okay, there's a caller.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know the drill already. Good evening, caller. You got 1 minute. Please state your name and come up with solutions, please.
Yeah, my name is James. So I'm calling to give advice or solution for the current Nigerian
Yes.
and the discussion. The solution to Nigerian problem is no other thing than leadership. The leader Buhari and his team is wicked. They are incompetent. They can do nothing. So in 2019, the Nigerians, the youth, and everybody should get ready, get their business ready to put down all the good cabals for the movement that has a vision to set Nigeria free. That is my contribution.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Ayo.
Yes.
What did you pick up from the last caller? He said one thing which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Everybody should do what? To change the government or to retain the government, you must go and do what?
You have to go and get, sorry, I got distracted.
Your PVC.
PVC, that's it. Get your PVC. And I've keep saying that we can't do anything without all of us getting our PVC. Go and queue. Like I said, I've said it before at the last event I came to, queue and wait to get your PVC. And not only that, we suggest that the people who are in the area where they're queuing, if you see there's a queue, mobilize yourselves, provide food, water, light refreshments, let them use your toilets in your area, and make sure that they don't lose their spot on the queue. We need to, this is the community spirit that we need to imbibe in ourselves to take on these looters, these crooks who are ruining our nation. If we do not stand up collectively and do our very first job, which is to get the PVC, we do not stand the chance of changing the government.
All right. I'm coming to you, Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes.
Hello, good evening. This is Nigeria Decide 2019, Heritage TV. What's your contribution? What's your name first? Hello? Mr. Ola? Yeah. Yeah, we want solution quickly.
I think, see, sir, what we need in Nigeria now is a revolution. And this kind of revolution.
Can you turn down your I think it's echoing. Your volume of your listening thing, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. Yes. Very well.
Much better.
Okay. What we need now is a revolution, and this kind of revolution is happening for years. We all know this Indomie generation, they have not voted at all. They don't want to get involved. When you discuss about politics with them, they say a lot of trash that the election we are doing going to win. It's been carrying that mentality since childbirth. So the way it is now, we need a revolution.
Revolution.
Come outside. The world now is not about Davido or whiskey. In the next 10 years, oil wouldn't be sold anymore. Now they are using electric cars right now. So any country that is relying on oil system now, in the next 10 years, is
Yes.
And these people in power, they don't have the idea of how this thing works. Now, this AI has taken over the world. This big data now, neighbors, everything. Technology has taken over the world. These people are not thinking. I don't know. We need a revolution.
Thank you.
It has to end. It gets where by 200 people are killed, and the president needs to now commission a rice factory in the following day.
Thank you, Mr. Ola. Thank you, Mr. Ola.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes.
Revolution. When you look at the mundane, when you look at what it takes, the preparation, the readiness of the people, and so on, you just need to go back to history. Revolution of in France, in Russia, in America, in other places. The mini one that took place here in the UK, hundreds of years of. Nigeria or Nigerians, are they really ready for revolution?
We are already in revolution. It's just that the old order is here to acknowledge it. There is revolution going on. There has been enough awareness going on that has never happened ever in our political system or in our life as a people in Nigeria. More people are connected to the internet than ever before. And the information travels faster than before. Now things have been revolutionized already. Now, how can we manage this current revolution whereby the young people are standing up to the old greedy orders and telling them that it's either you retire or we disgrace you out of the system? But because they don't know the revolution is here already. Even there's the last caller mentioned the Indomie generation. That's the generation born in the 1999, between 1999 and by next year they are going to be 20 years. These are the Indomie generation. Indomie generation whereby when you talk about politics to them, it doesn't make any sense. When you talk about what they want to do with their lives, they don't have any clue. You know, so the ambition and all that. So the revolution is here already, and we
just need to embrace and coordinate it properly.
It's already here, sir. It's already. One of them is this way we are communicating now. You know what I mean? I would have traveled to London, but here, look at it. We are doing it now.
Fantastic.
That's revolution.
Good evening, caller. You got a minute. Tell us your solution, please.
And your name first.
Your name.
My name is Tima. I'm calling for solution for Nigerian problems.
Yes, please.
Nigerians should wake up to join the movement, to take back movement. It is going on everywhere in Nigeria now. All Nigerians, youth, go to vote and should join the movement to take back our country. The solution to Nigerian problem is to change the government. It's nothing to talk about.
Okay, what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What yourself personally? What suggestions do you have personally? I know about Take It Back movement, and I understand that. But your own personal opinion with
solution.
That, solution, please.
The solution is to change the government.
Now see, this put everything in his Take It Back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. That's a very good idea. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You see,
because it's the best.
Come to you in the studio.
Yeah.
Tayo. You can see how electrifying, how
people are charged. People are supercharged. Yeah. They want the change.
And
they
also
want
we have
to take it back.
say to some of our callers that you know what we are doing is not going to be completed until when all of us pass this message home, because here we have a collection of people, Nigerians, millions that still cannot participate.
Indeed.
Despite our financial capacity, we cannot vote. And it is very sad, but that's going to be a discussion for another time, because for some reasons it's cheaper for these people back home to keep the Nigerians in permanent destitute, keep them in penury, because they can always go back and rebuy them again. We have a caller.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Gbekelelua. 1 minute, do you have any special solution apart from the one we had already? Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
yes,
we can.
We can hear you, yes.
Good evening.
correct. Number two, my advice is to be very correct. Rather than pretend to be forming different parties, why don't they come together and form one formidable party? In order to tackle this arrangement.
Right.
I would like to advise the youth, rather than making the list of concerning different parties, rather than rally around ourselves, come together, present just to one person, and fight collectively.
Thank you, Mr. Gbeke from the UK. Now, again, I'm going to dash to Scotland.
Indeed.
Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
It's becoming very interesting, isn't it? I'm warming up. Again, how do we get this message? Because we are the one burning the candle here. We are the one putting this extra energy. How do we connect this energy to our people at home? Yes, you talk about technology. Yes, you talk about how easy to connect you in Scotland to our studio here.
Indeed.
HeritageTV,
yes.
UK here without problems. So far, so good. It's not been, the light has not been, you know. We've done this before with an Etiosa candidate in it. And the line was cut almost about 4 or 5 times. So we were unable to do it. How do we pass this message on to our people? Because here we have so many suggestions. At the end of the day, the most important content and material in this business of revolution, of changing government, take up whatever back, all that, people.
Yes.
Mr. Maiyegun, what do you think?
It is happening. Like I said before, it is already happening. When, for instance, when Sowore declared on his Twitter that he was running for president, you know, people mocked him, they laughed at him, they were like, oh, you're going to be president on Twitter or Facebook and the rest of that. But when he landed in Nigeria, many of the naysayers then are now the take it back champion today. That's an example of how much you should not believe that because Nigerians don't have light, because they don't have enough money or enough data to watch some of these videos, one way or the other, they get the message. This is not the only means of reaching out to the people. That is why I said the revolution is already on. But it's only that the old order are yet to see it. And when you don't, something you don't see, how would you understand it? That's why they look at us and feel like they are just wasting their time. And when you see the Indomie generation I spoke about, who don't even understand their right from their left, but they will be at the forefront shouting and all that. There is a silent revolution going on in Nigeria now. It's going on in the religious circle. It's going on in the economic circle. It's going on in the political circle. Yes. It's going almost everywhere. For the first time, Nigerians called out their pastors. It never happened before. That's a revolution there.
I agree with you.
Yeah. You understand now? So the message gets out to people. And when Sowore got to Nigeria, you have seen the response. We see it everywhere, every day. Do you know that it's social media that made that happen? There's no special tire, there's no special agency or advertisement agency for Sowore. This social media. The earlier the people embrace it, the better.
I agree with you, but then again, we still have this fear. People like of my age, still, and from experience I have and had before, I still have this fear of some people are still out there, and I'm happy we have done a kind of interview couple of presidential aspirants in this studio.
Yes.
We've had their views. And I'm happy to say or to report that all of them are saying we're not going to give anybody anything, just to buttress what Maiyegun is saying.
Exactly.
We're not going to give anybody anything.
No.
What we want to is take time to study manifestos of each and every one of us, take a decision, because this decision is going to make or break. You understand me? Indeed. And we can, but then let me quickly touch another area that is of worry to me. Grassroots and poverty.
Yes.
You see, we are saying all this is nice. Maiyegun is doing well in Scotland. You and I are doing well here in the UK. We are blessed. Now, some of them still need money, but basic things are provided for us. How are you going to resolve that problem of a political party who I heard that they say they're not going to spend naira They're not going to spend UK money. They're going to spend dollars.
Yes.
And you know, they're talking to the poor Nigerians. How do we resolve this problem?
I think we've already started solving that problem. The fact that a particular movement is getting the grassroots to support it without that movement offering cash to them is the first sign that people are thinking with their brain. They're thinking, I don't want your money. I want roads. I want schools. I want, most importantly, the light so I can see where I'm going at night. Even in my village, I am tired of your money. You give me the money, I spend it in 3 months, and I still don't have light. I have no water. I have no roads. I have no school. In fact, I have no life. So people are beginning. There's a beginning of that. Because everywhere this particular movement goes, there is a group of mass people who are poverty ridden, who are crying out, and they're supporting him. They go and put the posters out. They organize themselves. They're getting from their own little money in their communities, and they're putting posters out. We want this guy.
Right. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, Mr. Maiyegun. But before we do that, we're going to go on a short break again. And when we come back, we are doing an extended program tonight.
Yes.
We want everybody to be part of this program. And before I go back to Mr. Maiyegun again, we're going to read some of the messages coming from our viewers all over the world. Please do not go away. We'll be back shortly.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Welcome back, and this is the last segment of the program, Nigeria Decides 2019 on HeritageTV UK. And we are privileged to be connected to one of, renowned blogger. He's a journalist, a political analyst. He's well known all over the place in the media world. His name is Mr. Maiyegun. He's joining us. He's been with us right from the beginning of this program, and from Scotland. And of course, I have a co-host here in the studio, Mr. Ayo,
also known as CitizenAY.
CitizenAY, who is also a broadcaster on radio, television, is well known all over the place. And we've also been very blessed getting calls from our viewers all over the place. And because of we want to spread the time to be shared by everybody, we insist in say 1 minute, but quickly that 1 minute should be to quickly tell us what their solutions are. Not to discuss, because the discussion is not going to take us anywhere. It's a repetition. Now, CitizenAY, can you read some of the messages, comments that are coming in, please?
Indeed. I've got one from Amtom Jesus here. It says, CitizenAY, the whole political system in Nigeria has to be restructured, revamped, and cleansed. Start up on a new foundation without old cabals, if they do not want to break up. I think he's got some really strong points there. Samuel Humbe says, even if they vote him out, the problem will still be there. There is no man on earth that can govern Nigeria the way it is. It is better to have a regional government. Yes, I think that's...
we can do 2 or 3 more, please.
Then Kulka Grant says, people should be aware that Buhari is in power, by the interference of the Western countries. This is by design to maintain the status quo. Very interesting comment there. Another person says, let me see. We, the Biafra, fought these people in 1965, and the Yorubas just watched. I mean,
no, that's true.
Okay, let me just see. Nigeria is still colonized. The judicial system is a good example. The lawyers, judges still wear wigs and gowns as the British. Nigerians need to study and learn their history. They need to know and understand what took place in Berlin Conference 1885, when Africa was divided.
Yeah.
This was by Cool-Card Grant. Very important point raised there.
Very important. Let me quickly zoom to Scotland.
Yes.
Mr. Maiyegun,
Yes, sir.
you had some of these comments, and one of them that catches my attention is history. History of what happened 1884 in Berlin, where the not even only the colonial masters, most of the European countries gathered together with a big scissors, a big cutlass, and as you can see, a huge continent like Africa was like the biggest mammal.
Indeed.
A whale.
Yes.
Wash ashore because it got dead, because they see us as lame duck. We are not active. We are like, who are we? Yeah. And they decided to cut us into pieces. Do we still have any way of taking us? Because when you look at what is happening, it seems more or less like we are not yet civilized or educated enough to liberate ourselves and our people. We still dwell in one man, one business kind of governance in Africa. What's your take?
Thank you very much for that. I also read a lot about few history that are of interest to me, and nowhere in history or where I've read about history that I've seen it that says I must be guided or I must obey everything in that history. Yes, we're divided as Africans. I didn't witness that. But eventually, when I was born as a Nigerian, which means since my birth as a Nigerian, I've never seen any white man being a president in Nigeria. He has always been a Nigerian, being our president. And from my own little community in Ijebu, I am yet to see a white man be my local government chairman. So I am not one of those who wants to believe that whatever I'm facing today is a consequence of what happened yesterday. If that's the case, then I have the what do you call it, the responsibility to hand it in my own time and not leave it for my children. Why am I saying this? Those who have been sitting to plan for my life since my birth, they are Nigerians. And when we now come home, those who have been in charge of my life until I left that country, they have been Yorubas. They are not Hausas. They are not Igbos. My governor I've never had any Hausa governor. I've never had any Igbo governor. These people have the capacity as leaders to plan for people like me before I even grow up to this level. But there's nothing like that in Nigeria. So I'm not going to blame Oyibo. When you steal money that is meant for roads, hospitals, schools, industries, roads, and all that, and you take it to Dubai, do you want me to blame Oyibo for that?
No, of course not.
Oyibo was in my land for more than 100 years, stealing my natural resources and taking it down to their country. But they handed everything over to us. What have we done with it? We commercialize everything they left for us. We resell it to them. The second colonization. Then they give us money that we will never touch. They will say you have this also money in Swiss account, $100 million. You will never touch it. It's still with them. Do I need to blame them? Okay, now, what do I need to do to stop this? First, by taking power from the same people who have misused power from my own generation, from their own generation to the generation after them, to my generation, and even the generation coming after me. So if care is not taken, it's going to be a vicious circle. They call it rat race. That is what we have in Nigeria. We should stop blaming. In fact, I don't want to blame our politicians anymore. I want to blame myself for believing in them that they could fix my country when I know they couldn't.
Thank you, Mr. Maiyegun. Mr. Ayo Ogunimu.
Yeah.
One of our caller made a suggestion, which I hold very, very dear to my heart. It took me a long time to believe that part of our problem should be restructuring, a type of restructuring where we can, break ourselves. But a lot of people will say, are we not already broken into pieces? We are broken already into 36 states. But you see, for some silly reasons, the 36 states, each of these, some of them are not even viable.
No.
Some of them are complaining that they cannot put together a kind of IGR to pay salaries.
Who broke us? No. You must remember that. Who broke us?
Yeah,
we didn't break ourselves.
Exactly. I agree. I'll come back to you. I'll come back. I know. And I agree with you totally. Like I said, as a student of political science, and also somebody who has been outside the country, and I cannot live with the argument of they are the one directing us. No. Because here we are, far back 1969, a former foreign secretary in this country, I think he's still alive, Dr. Owen, was interviewed at Muritala Muhammad Airport, or one of the airlines, say the colonial people, and the guy said, hang on a minute, you had your independence 9 years ago. You can do whatever you like. In between, we change our money, we change this, we change whatever. So I agree with Maiyegun that enough of that stupid talk. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using that word.
No.
But here we cannot continue to say they are the one. And he also make reference to when it comes to sharing money, there's no Hausa, Yoruba, Takpa, or anything.
No.
We know. So still the problem is our people. But let me quickly go back to one of the callers who said, is it better now to revert back to regionalism and have a very weak central? What do you think about that?
As bad as the Jonathan government was, they're as bad as each other. Well, I shouldn't mention it. The previous government, I should say. The one thing that I would like to say they did right was the confab report.
The national conference.
Exactly. It's not perfect. It's a lot of things, a lot of work to do.
It's a kind of a template you could have.
It's a template. It's a roadmap.
A roadmap.
And that is probably where we need to go. How we get there, however, is we're still going to have to vote under this current constitution. So now, to talk about is that viable or not, I'm not sure we could really flesh that out fully. But that report is a template. Our focus right now is to wake our people up. Our people are not engaged in their governance. There is a part of the Constitution that states that the people must take part in their governance by holding their leaders, the people they elected into power, to account. And so far, 99% of Nigerians don't hold our leaders to account. How do you hold them to account? If you find that they are not performing, there is a part in the Constitution that you can use to recall senators, House of Reps. Same goes for House of Assemblies. There are bits of the Constitution that we, the people, can quote and use to ask them questions, and they cannot refuse to answer because of the Constitution. And this is the back, so that's why I would like to go. But I definitely recognize confab. For me, it's a good roadmap that we can use. And we need to study that a lot more closely and see what we can do with that. I don't know what my Badero would like to say on that.
Mr. Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
You had my colleague in the studio saying the national confab put together could have been used as a kind of a parameter, as a guidelines, as a kind of a yardstick to start thinking about restructuring our country. And also that could have probably lead us to issue of reverting back to the old system, having enough time, let everybody develop at their own pace. What's your take on the national confab?
Sir, do you want me to be honest with you, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The question we should ask ourselves is this: why has the past confab was never implemented? None. We had one in 1995. We had another one in 2004 under Obasanjo. We had another one in 2014 under Jonathan. Why has none of them implemented their own confab? It's very simple. Nigeria is seen as their estate. They share it. When they want to share state, they look at themselves. How many states do you have, Obasanjo, in Yoruba land? How many states do you know? This is how they have been sharing it. And when you talk about restructuring, when you talk about confab, when you talk about the convenience of all these different meetings and conferences and the rest of that, they are just fraudulent. It is just that they are, there is this establishment, a corrupt establishment called Federal Government of Nigeria. It can be military, it can be civilian, but it's called Federal Government of Nigeria. But there's nothing federal about it. It's fraud. The only way to fix or restructure Nigeria is very simple. We must at first get rid of all the remnant and leftovers of all this corrupt system from the local government level to state level and to the national level, to constituency level, to senatorial district level. That's why everybody needs to join politics. Everybody. You must join politics. So when you join, we can start dismantling them from the House of Assembly in your state. Start dismantling them from the National Assembly from your state. So when we do this, we reduce their numbers in how they influence our law book. So when we have majority in this regard, we can now convene and choose the type of government we want for our country. And now we want to see to settle that, whether we want a Senate or we want a reps or we just want a unilateral, legislature. We will decide. Buhari will not be there. Obasanjo must not be there. Edwin Clark must not be there. Olufalaye must not be there. Musa, whatever it's called, Abdullah in the north must not be there. All these old babas, imams, afas, GOs, all of this must not be there. It must be fresh from the oven, fresh from the oven idea, where people must know that to take over, to restructure Nigeria is a process. Just like those who are asking for Biafra and Oduduwa Republic, asking for regional system of government and other, everything is a process. To change things, you don't send thugs to go and make law and make laws that will implicate them. Where is that done? Only in Nigeria you elect thugs and expect them to change laws that will work against them. So the best thing is this: everyone must join politics. We must start dismantling them from the local level. We must make sure that those who are currently in the National Assembly, all of them, make sure 90% of them doesn't return. They don't return there next year, including the president. Now let us go to the state house of assemblies all across the country. Dismantle them there. That is where the godfathers reign supreme. That is where they influence. That is where they doctor everything that affects me and you in Nigeria. And guess what? You will never see them coming. You will never see them coming.
Mr. Maiyegun,
thank you.
I need to come back to the studio and also because we're running gradually towards the end of this.
Sorry, I'm taking much of your time.
No, that's fine. We are so happy to have you, and your contribution is invaluable. We cannot quantify it. Now, Mr. Ayo Ogundimu, we've gone through all this. 2019 is going to be the elections. The elections, like I said in my intro, are going to be that of presidential, governor, senate, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
What should be the vision? What should be the thinking of Nigerians? Again, we have said many things about the people of Nigeria, and we know, you and I know very well, how much these people have been coerced, how much they have to take the punishment, the amount of problem, but we are still trying to encourage them. So what more should we be telling them? Because you know what? They either have to go through this suffering now, do what they have to do, because freedom is not cheap anyway. Democracy is not something, it's very messy.
Yes.
It's not something you can just wake up in the morning and say, I am. So what more should we be educating our people come election 2019?
Well, the first thing is our people must learn to read between the lines. What do I mean by that? Every manifesto that is put in front of them, It's a promise, like I said. It's basically a promise from the candidate to the people. When they make a promise and they're telling you we'll do this, read between the lines. What does that mean? Is this achievable? Knowing yourself, knowing the constitution of the country. When this guy is saying, well, within 2 months your roads will be done. Within 2 months you will have water. You will have schools. And knowing your current constitution, condition, and the country's condition, we Nigerians must start thinking, right, okay, is this guy telling me lies just to make sure I vote for him? And in addition, is he trying to give me money to make sure he just gets my vote? We need to start doing that kind of assessment of each and every candidate. We mustn't take their word for it. We need to go and research their history. What was their track record? Who did they work with? You know, the more you find them linked to the old guard, the more you know that they are telling you pockets and you need to stay away from them. That's one issue.
Yeah.
The other issue is, before we even go on that, have Nigerians got their PVC? That is the message I will keep banging on.
Yeah.
We must get that PVC, because the minute you have the PVC in your hand, that is your power as an individual in that nation to vote out these looters. This is your power, and you use that power wisely.
Otherwise, someone will take a decision for them, which
Exactly.
is now. I want to say this, and this is my own personal opinion. I think I want to thank all the people in the media in Western Europe, all over the world, especially outside the country, because we, not psychofancying ourselves, we're doing a very good job.
Yes.
Because to pass this information, be it through the WhatsApp, be it through the Periscope, Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth. We are not in the business of wanting to show off the latest Ankara we have. You and I and Maiyegun in Scotland and many others in Indonesia and even in Iraq are very busy disseminating information. And I want to appeal to all our people, our colleagues in this industry, to please continue doing what you are doing, improve on it. Because what is key here, all what we are doing here, this message must get down to the grassroots. They must understand that it is their fight. It is their war we are fighting. It is them that they are going to benefit, and we should do it in such a way that the message gets to them regularly. Indeed. So put on all this all together, I have no doubt in my mind that people like Maiyegun said that right from the beginning of this program, the revolution is here. People are changing. People are now listening. It is very easy now to connect somebody at Changisha or someone in Ilorin. You say, well, look, just listen to this. Yeah, even though, and also understand that if you do not do what you have to do today, the problem is going to continue to linger until next time. And I promise myself and say, before we end this program, we're going to have 1 minute silence, but I will leave that to the producer, I will leave that to the studio to do. Maybe by the time we finish, that he put a black whatever 1 minute silence, and everybody will see how much premium we put on our people. It affects us. It's so injurious. You can imagine what it means. Getting and I'm sure the same thing with blogger and Mr. Maiyegun. They're getting the clip and you are so scared to open it, and you now open it to see charade, to see people shot, people who have been killed in such a terrible manner. And I think it is terrible. It's unacceptable. And we want to call on government to please stand up to this. You need to do something. Government needs to do something. This is nothing to do with anybody. Mr. Maiyegun, what's your last thought?
Thank you very much, Heritage Television. After much adults and all that, before I could make it onto the program tonight.
Let me quickly hold your thought there. Take this call, and then it's going to be the last call. We need to, Hello, good evening, caller. What's your name? You have 1 minute because we're about rounding up now.
My name is Dominic.
Dominic.
I just want to give me done to this.
Yeah, 1 minute. The solution, please. Can you lower down the volume of your TV or anything and go straight to the to solution? 1 minute, please.
I've done that.
Fantastic.
Okay, go ahead.
Solution.
There's something I want to teach you. First of all, those who were killed today, let nobody make any mistake to us. Buhari made the principal killer of those people. There's no argument. Reason because the police inspector or whatever you may call them, the IG, take instruction from you before they act. So they are all colluding based on what the general has told us. That's one side of it. Oshomola should take no money back. Let it go and answer the court. The court has alleged that he hasn't case to answer. They shouldn't sweep that under the bed. It's not ordinary person that is saying that now. Oshomola is with those things money. Let Oshomola bring that.
Well, Mr. Dominic, we have to stop it there because it's like being direct, too direct. Again, we cannot sustain that line of thought that Buhari is killing anybody. Is a national tragedy. It's a problem that his government have to tackle. And why he's doing that, we as individuals also have to find a way. And listen, Mr. Dominic, and also Mr. Dominic, yeah, Mr. Dominic. Also, the issue of the new chairman of APC. If anybody has taken him to court, they should put the pressure on how to whatever. And if anybody finding, so we will not be able to. We will not be able to discuss that. We will have to let you go, Mr. Dominic. We will have to let you go, Mr. Dominic, because we have to let you go. Yes, Mr. Dominic was trying to come on with. I mean, I do understand.
I understand the frustration.
Yeah, the frustration and the anger. You get that in a million places.
Yes.
You understand me? Because you get that in a million places in terms of Nigerians in Agege who do not have light for the last 10 years.
Yes.
In some of the Mowe on the Badon High Road, so it is, everybody is angry.
Yeah.
Now, your closing thoughts from Scotland.
Yeah, thank you very much, Heritage TV, for the opportunity. I must commend the presenters and the crew there. I may not know everyone, by name except AY for now. But however, my own message to Nigerians is sort of going to be in two phases.
Yeah, we have 1 minute because of time. Yeah,
I'll manage the time. Don't worry.
Okay.
So the number one, the first message goes to the president of the country. The buck stops on his table. He receives a security report from the security chiefs in Nigeria, and with the killings since so far, it means they have been giving him false report. You know what I mean? And which means they shouldn't be keeping their jobs right now. My second message is to all Nigerians. I don't care if you're Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba right now. Nobody is safe. Everyone is in danger. Those who travel our highways, they will understand what I'm saying. So Nigerians should be more at alert. And then for those who are already victims of SARS as well in Nigeria, it's not only the criminals that are killing us. The uniformed criminals are also killing Nigerians. So this is to tell all Nigerians to stay woke. 2019 is going to be violent because these guys are going to do the worst. Don't let anybody preach to you about the respect or any other thing that they are trying to cover. In this regard, protect yourselves, protect your family, and please, safety first.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate you. Before we round up, we are going to do the 1 minute silence. Don't you think so? We should do the 1 minute silence and then you and I do the closing.
I think that's
now for all our viewers all over the world. We want to start by sending our heartfelt condolences, our thoughts with the people who have lost their beloved ones. There's no exception when it comes to death, when people are grieving. And that is where Heritage Television is a little bit unique. We do grieve with you. We understand what you people are going through. So we're going to give 1 minute silence and then we close this edition of Nigeria Comes To. So 1 minute silence. And we do appreciate your contributions and the 1 minute silence, and we pray that the soul of the departed will rest in perfect peace until when all of us, because we're all going to die.
We are.
But not this kind of way of dying. So, my colleague in the studio, your Ogundimu, a broadcaster, a blogger, CitizenAY, television, radio, we've been all through it.
Yes.
We all love this job.
Yes.
And we had a closing remark of a good friend in Scotland.
Yes.
Just 1 minute, because we'll be giving everybody 1 minute. This time I'm also going to give you 1 minute.
Absolutely.
So you can also have 1 minute to round up.
Yes.
Now, what's your quick take, your final?
Nigerians, we haven't got much time. Get your PVC. Most importantly, get that. Secondly, if you haven't got the Constitution, please download it. I'll put the link on the page afterwards. Download the Constitution. Put it on your phone. Share it with your friends. We need that. We need you reading it. Talk about it on the buses, on the motorway, on the downfall, on the keke napep, in the beer parlor, in the churches, in the mosque, in the schools, everywhere. Talk about it. Have committee meetings about this. Above all, it is time for you to open your eyes and start taking part in your governance. And you can only do that by reading that Constitution and knowing your rights and how you can demand the responsibilities that those you elect, how you can demand that they fulfill those responsibilities. So that's what I would like to say. So that's my focus on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yoshidimu. Again, like I said, we enjoy what we are doing, and I want to use this opportunity to thank our good friend in Ireland, in Scotland. Thank you very much, and all the same, from me, Otumba Olabode Oseni, the anchor of this program, the 2019 elections or Nigerian Decide. We're going to come back again every Tuesday, and we hope you are going to be there for us, praying that all what we have discussed here tonight are going to be used in good to support our people back home, because they need us. They need us. They need the information we are giving to them. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Great show.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.